dreaming up this movie?
About 10 years ago, I came across a little children's book called The Man Who Walked Between the Towers, and just kind of was intrigued by this little 8-page book. And then when Philippe actually did the walk, I wasn't aware of it. I was, for some reason, not listening to the news or something. But then I started to research, what it was that he did. I couldn't believe the story. It was amazing. I thought it had all the elements to make a compelling movie.
And a question for Joseph Gordon-Levitt. How did you? Yeah, that's right. How did you approach this character? I would imagine you spent a lot of time with Philippe Petit.
Yeah, Philippe actually insisted that he be the first one to teach me to walk on the wire. And he doesn't do anything halfway, this guy. So he orchestrated this really elaborate workshop. It was just me and him all day long for 8 days straight. And he said, by the end of these 8 days, you'll walk on the wire by yourself. And I thought that sounded ambitious. But he's such a positive thinker. He believed that I would, and because he believed that I would, I started to believe that I would. And when you believe that you can do something, that's when you can do it. And he was right. By the end of those 8 days, I did walk on a wire by myself, and then continue to practice as we shot. And I love it. It's actually really fun, if painful, way to, what do you call it? An occupation, art form, wire walking. It's fun.
Well, what would you call it? An occupation or an art form? That's a discussion that's actually
That is,
started.
yeah. I don't know if there's a real answer to that. I think you could argue any of those categories, but in my experience, if you focus too much on labeling things, that you probably aren't paying attention to what's really good about it.
I'd like to ask the rest of the cast present to just talk about their experience working on this movie, but that is quite an echo. And what it was like to get into the world of the preparation for this incredible feat, and also a recreation of those days of the 70s in New York.
Oh, sure, I'd love to start. I'd also like to say that right behind us, there's like a 50-foot drop, which is hilarious for this type of movie where we're on top of towers all the time, and this is the most petrified I've been in my entire life. There's a series of things that were inspiring. First of all, Robert Zemeckis is a hero of mine, so anything he ever wants me to do, I'll do. Please don't do anything with that. No, but the story, I'm from New York, and so the story, it just connected with me so much. The script was incredible, and then to be able to have any role at all to tell this story seems inspiring. It's truly about a person who does something impossible, so it makes you believe that things that may not be possible are actually, you can achieve them. So it's just special to be a part of almost telling like a fairy tale that happened in real life. And James Badgedale is going to say something even more incredible than I said.
Why are you going to put the pressure on me like that?
And he's going to do an iambic pentameter.
I'm not going to say anything that you just didn't say. No, literally, I am going to say the same thing that Ben just said. It was a work of passion. It was a work of love for all of us. And it was beautiful to come to work every day because Bob has this incredible creative energy, and Joe is one of the most consummate professional, kind, giving actors you could ever work with, and that creates this culture where we all showed up to work and we would have a lot of fun, and Bob would film it.
No, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, it was quite overwhelming too because I'm just starting. I'm working in French mainly, and it was my second big American production. So that was quite overwhelming to work with this legend. I'm sorry that it's true, and you, Joseph, and Ben Schwartz and James Badgedale, of course. I was crying every day because I was going to work with you, but it was nice. I had to learn the guitar. That was really difficult in the movie. I hope you don't see it too much. I had to learn to sing too. was difficult for me as well. But it was just fun to go to work every day, and we were really like a little family. I know people in movies they always say that, but that was actually true. So
We did a thing on weekends sometimes, and we didn't actually tell you too much about this, Bob, where the cast would gather together and we would watch Robert Zemeckis movies.
Every single weekend. We'd all order food together. Did you know about this, Bob, or no?
No, directors are always the last to know anything that's going on the movie.
But every single weekend we'd get together as a bonding experience. We enjoyed spending time with each other and then watching his movies and then looking at each other being like, we get to be a part of this. Yeah, it was pretty
We watched
incredible.
Back to the Future, we watched Castaway,
Yeah.
What Lies Beneath,
Yeah.
we watched Romancing the Stone, we watched Death Becomes Her.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it was
It was a
fantastic.
long production.
Guy, right there. I'll repeat those questions quickly, both for Joseph. First question, if he failed wire walking, was it in his contract that he would be replaced? Second, what was this film and Snowden? Is he now entering a leading man phase of his career?
Well, actually, I think everyone in the production was sort of saying, like, don't worry if you can't really walk on the wire, you know, it's all going to be movie magic anyway. But I really wanted to learn to do it, and Philippe really wanted me to learn to do it, and did it. But I should also say, while there are quite a few shots of me in the movie, there's also quite a few shots of Jade Martin, who is my wire walking double, and he's an excellent wire walker as well. What was the other question? Sorry.
Have you now entered the leading man phase of your career?
Oh, well, isn't it obvious? Oh, thank you. That's flattering of you to say. I don't really know how to answer it, though. Ben Schwartz, have I entered the leading man phase of
Man, he has been in that phase for years. How dare you? No, but to Joe's credit, in this movie, it's not only that he learned how to walk on a wire, and he had a safety harness which he never used. To what I said, but he spoke French fluently and fooled people who are from Paris and from France with a perfect accent. He truly, I mean, when we were watching, we would always watch with awe because it's this quality that you can't. He's just born with it, man. He's a movie star. It's kind of incredible to watch.
Thank you. I don't know if I fooled French people. I fooled Americans, though.
That is true. Fooled me.
Next question? Yes. Right up there.
It's gonna be,
Please
Sorry.
wait for the microphone.
Oh, yeah. Microphone's coming.
one thing that I liked was the movie at the end focused on the impact of the walk as a piece of art. And I was wondering if you feel that a controversial piece of art like this that was in defiance of the law and very risky can remain effective as a subversive piece of art if like the cop is patting you on the back at the end, and kind of your thoughts about this as a piece of art, the walk itself.
Exactly. The question
That's
for
for
Robert.
all of you. You've all thought about this.
Question for everybody.
Well, I do, and I think the line that's in the movie sort of sums up how I feel about it. Is that all artists are anarchists in some way, some more extreme than others, but you know, it's something that I think artists are supposed to do. You know, they're supposed to present a different angle on everything, and I certainly think it is, and it's you know, it's as much an art form as poetry, in my opinion.
Well, you mentioned, I'm interested in the part of your question where you said, is it still subversive if the cop is patting you on the back at the end? And my answer to that would be yes, that in fact, ideally what an artist can do is build a bridge and bring someone over and show them something and have them appreciate something they might not have appreciated before, as opposed to going so far as to just keep the sides split, in which case you're sort of just preaching to the choir. So for me, that's the greatest success in subversive art, is when someone who might not have appreciated it at first is won over.